Hi, I'm Glenn Young with Z-Man Fishing Products, and at the time we're filming this, it's winter. And for a lot of people out there, wintertime means chasing steelhead. And so we've been getting a lot of questions from people about how to rig and fish with the EggZ and how you would fish it, say, under a float or with a drift rig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of different options on how you can rig these, either float fishing or drift fishing. And it's really very simple. The EggZ, when they come in a package, they come in a string like this. So if I want to make an egg cluster, it's very simple because this doesn't break. What I can do is I can simply take this and tie this into a knot. And when I do that, I can make a couple of knots out of this. And I end up with an egg cluster. So I've got a cluster of eggs. And then what I can do here is I'll take this hook here, and this one here is a 1/0 Gamakatsu octopus hook. And what I'll do is I'll take this and I run this actually through some of the eggs themselves to help hold it securely, because the eggs won't tear because they're made out of elastic, which is a big advantage. Then what I do is once I have some of those threaded on, I'll pull that up here. Now what I have on this hook here, I've tied an egg loop onto this, which if you don't know how to tie that, I highly recommend you go look that up. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to tie this. But what I'll do is I'll take this egg loop here and then I'll basically put that around the eggs here in the back and then pull it tight, and that secures my eggs onto the hook. I'll put a split shot, say, up here above this, like up in here, and because this material is buoyant, when you have this under a float with a couple of split shot on there, the split shot's going to go down, this is going to be floating up like this. So make sure when you're adjusting your weights, you keep that in mind so you're able to keep this in the water column where you need it. Now, as far as the profile goes, if I want to dress this up a little bit, what I can do are a couple of things. I can add a bead to this, and which is kind of a way you can dress up an egg rig. So let's say if I'm fishing bigger water, maybe it's a little bit green, what we call steelhead green sometimes right after a big rain. The water's up, so I want a little bit bigger profile. I can run a bead onto here to kind of dress it up, add a little bit more color, make it a contrasting color if I want. And then one of the other things that I can do is I can take a piece of egg yarn like this. And then what I can do is I can take some of this egg yarn and basically I'll just take this egg yarn and tie a knot up here above my egg cluster. And what I can do is once I tie a little knot in here just like this, and I'll tighten this down and I'll slide this down in front of my bead. And then from here what I can do is I just simply trim this off to the length that I need it. And what this will do is the glow bug yarn can kind of help act like a skein a little bit. So if you want to add a little bit of that egg skein look to this, you can fan some of this out like this, spread it out, thin it out like that, and then when it's down here like this, it'll kind of look like the skein of the egg as it's going through the water. So you can kind of beef up the profile a little bit that way by adding some yarn and a bead to the whole thing and dressing it up for, let's say, bigger, more stained water. So you have definitely different options right here that you can use. You have the eggs here. Because they're elastic, like I mentioned, they don't rip or tear, and it is buoyant, so it's always going to float. So you can control your depth and your presentation a lot easier with this than what you can some of the other options that are out there. So if you want to see all the different colors of the EggZ that we make, you want to go to the Z-Man website at zmanfishing.com, and you'll be able to see all of them right there.